Okay, see, surface tension. What do you mean by this surface tension here? See, you all know that when you are considering a liquid, this liquid is having molecules in that. This liquid is having molecules. Let us consider three molecules here. 1, 2 and 3. See, there are two types of forces. Adhesive, cohesive forces. What do you mean by adhesive forces? What do you mean by cohesive? Co means attraction between same type of molecules. Adhesive means attraction between different types of molecules. Here, cohesive forces means this molecule which is present in the water. This molecule is attracted by the molecules which are present in surrounding of this water. Okay, so this molecule which is present here is being attracted by the molecules which are surrounding the water here, and this molecule which is in the middle is being attracted by the molecules which are surrounding this one here. So this molecule will be attracted by the molecules present in the water. Okay, so now if you observe this molecule here, this molecule is also attracted by the molecules surrounding the water molecule. So these three molecules which are called as water molecules present here, water molecules. Just observe these molecules. Let us consider this is A, this is B and this is C. Three types of molecules are present here. You just see here. Three types of molecules are present here. The one which is exactly on the surface, the one which is little bit below the surface, and the one which is in the middle, suspended molecule you can say. So if you observe this molecule here, you will see that above this molecule there are no molecules present because it's a surface molecule. And all the molecules which are present below this are attracting that molecule downwards. Understand? Attracting this molecule downwards. So therefore, on this molecule, net force is acting downwards. Okay? So you can write net force acting on this molecule is downwards. Here, as this molecule is just below the surface, there is some force which is acting upwards, but maximum force acting is downwards, because as this molecule is just below the surface, above this molecule very less molecules are present, below this molecule large number of molecules are present. So therefore, even though upward and downward forces are present, the net force is acting downwards here also. Net force acting is downwards here. But in this, what is the net force? Net force acting is 0, because whatever the force is acting upwards and the forces acting downwards, both are going to be same here. Why? Because as this molecule is exactly suspended inside the water, the surrounding molecules are going to attract in all the different directions equally with equal forces. Therefore, net force acting is going to be 0. Then if you observe here, only the molecules on the surface, they are having net downward forces. Okay, so all the molecules which are residing on the surface, they create certain tension which is called as surface tension. Okay, so what do you mean by surface tension? Here, the surface of the water is acting like a membrane. Membrane. When you boil the milk, after boiling, when you cool it, you will see that some thin layer of membrane is formed on the milk, is it? So that is a very strong membrane. Even ant can also walk on the membrane of milk. Here, because of surface tension, you might have observed in Discovery Channel, you might have seen there are some animals which can walk on the surface of the water. Have you seen or not? Some insects can crawl without drowning. Some birds can walk on the water. Have you seen? Birds will walk on the water surface. How is it possible? Because water surface is acting like a membrane. Membrane means thin layer which can hold. I will give one small example. Okay, the better example I will give you. See here, this is a surface of the water. This is going to be the surface of the water. For example, on the surface of the water, you have kept one needle. Okay, I have kept one needle here. Okay, if I place this needle gently on the surface of the water, that water can hold that needle without getting drowned. But once you use your finger and just push it downwards, when it crosses the surface, then the needle gets drowned. Have you ever observed this type of things? Some bodies which are going to be drowned, but when you keep gently on the surface, they are not getting drowned. But once you push with your finger, they get drowned. Understand what is the reason? The surface of the water is able to act like a membrane which can hold the needle if you place it gently. But when you push it downwards, crosses the membrane, then what happens? The needle gets drowned. What is that capacity which is going to hold the needle? That is called as surface tension. Okay, so surface tension generally we give with the letter T here. Okay, so what is the tension here? Tension is force acting per unit length here. Okay, so tension T is nothing but the force acting per unit length. So T is equal to F by L. This is going to be the general formula here. This is called as the general formula for surface tension. Okay, this is the general formula. But for needle, if you observe, once the needle is placed inside the water, so this is the side view of a needle. But if I place the needle like this, how are you going to see the needle? For example, this is the needle I have kept here. So I am drawing the cross section of that needle. Okay, so this needle, what is going to happen on this needle? You know, surface tension is acting on the needle here. Okay, and if the needle is placed inside the water, as this part of the needle is also immersed in water, this part is also in contact with the surface. Both the parts are in contact with the surface of the water. Therefore, here if you place a needle, here the length is L, on the other side is also length is L. Both the lengths of the needle are holded by holded by the surface here. This side length and this side length. So especially for needle, if you take, for needle, if it is gently placed, surface tension of a needle will not be force per unit length. This is going to be the general formula. There, this is going to be 2L into T. Understand? Why it is 2L? Just now I told you. This needle is in contact with the surface, this side and this side. So both the sides have been lifted by the surface tension here. Okay, that's why that for needle especially, tension will become force per unit length. Okay, so therefore what is the force here? Force is going to be 2L into T. This is the force which is because of tension. Okay, then what is the net force acting on the needle? I'll tell you what is the net force acting on the needle. The net force acting on the needle is force due to tension plus force due to gravity. Force due to gravity. So force due to tension is given by 2L into G and force due to gravity 2L into T. Okay, force due to tension is 2L into T. Force due to gravity is mg, where W is nothing but force due to gravity, which can also be called as mg. You can also write net force acting on the needle is 2L into T plus W also, where W is called as weight, which is going to be mg here. Okay, which is going to be mg here. This is called as the net force acting on the needle. Okay, now I'll give you some more examples here. For example, this is a surface and this is the water surface. Now what I have done, on the surface I have kept a ring of radius small r. I have kept a ring on the surface of the water whose radius is small r. Then what happens? Whose radius is small r. Then what happens? Here, you all know that if this is the ring here, internal length is also immersed in the water, external length is also immersed in the water. So force is acting on the external circumference and also internal circumference. Is it? Then what is this formula for tension? tension is equal to force by 2L according to the needle. If it is a needle, it is 2L, but if it is a ring, it is going to be 2 pi r. Okay? Why I am writing 2L here? I'll give you the formula here. Tension on the ring can be taken as force by, for needle if it is L plus L, that is 2L. For ring, it is going to be 2 pi r plus 2 pi r. Sorry, this is the circumference. So it is going to be F by 4 pi r. So therefore, force acting on the ring to lift the ring or to hold the ring due to surface tension, which is due to tension, can be given by 4 pi r into t. Is it? This is called as force due to tension. Then what is the net force acting on the ring? Net force is force due to tension plus force due to gravity is also acting. Is it? Both are acting. Force due to tension plus force due to gravity. Therefore, that is going to be 4 pi RT plus M into G. Understand? Okay? So, as mg is also acting downwards, to overcome mg on that, the surface is holding, is it? That means two things are acting upwards. Force due to net is nothing but mg is also lifted and force due to tension is also lifting that one. So mg plus force due to tension is going to be 4 pi RT into plus mg. And this can also be written as net force is equal to 4 pi RT plus W. 4 pi RT plus W. This is called as net force acting on the ring. Okay, I'll give you one more example. Instead of ring, if it is a disc, what happens? Okay, this is for a ring, and this is for a needle, and this is for a disc. What is the meaning of disc here? Disc means it is just like a plate. Understand? Circular plate, you can say. If this is a disc here, you should remember one thing. Only one layer is in contact with the water. As internally it is filled, then what happens? Internally it is filled, then what happens? You need not consider one more 2 pi r here. You just consider like this. So what is the tension acting here? Force by length. Only one length is affected, which is called as circumference 2 pi r. Therefore tension can be taken as force by 2 pi r. F is equal to 2 pi r into t. This is because of tension. But what is the net force? Force due to tension plus force due to gravity. Therefore, net force can be taken as 2 pi r into t plus w, which can also be written as mg. Is it clear? Is it clear? Okay. So this is the explanation here. Next part. What happens when you keep a rectangular wire on the surface of the water? So this is a rectangular wire having length L, breadth B. Understood? Then what is the circumference? What is the circumference here? Circumference is nothing but 2 into L plus B, is it? Circumference is 2 into L plus B. As it is a rectangular wire, I told wire, not a plank. That means each and every length is having two sides which are affected by the surface tension. Just like needle is affected by two lengths, two sides. So each and every length and breadth is also affected by two sides. Therefore, circumference here, I told you tension is equal to, if it is a ring or a rectangular wire or a needle, force will become 2 times of the length, isn't it? Here length means circumference here. So instead of length you have to take circumference, but you should take 2L here. And length is here 2 into L plus B. And this type of lengths there are two, because inside length or outside length is also affected here. Therefore tension here is going to be F by 2 into L plus B. Therefore tension T is equal to F by 4 into L plus B here. Okay. So therefore the force acting here is going to be 4T into L plus B here. Okay. And if it is a net force acting, it will be, this is due to tension, and plus force due to weight is also acting here. So weight is also lifted here. No, both the things you have to consider. Therefore, the net force is force due to tension, that is 40 into L plus B, and is also taken as force due to gravity or weight. Both are going to be M into G here. This is the formula which is taken here, is it? Next, if it is a rectangular wire, it is over. Next, for example, if it is a rectangular plank, what happens? If it is a rectangular plank, what happens? What is the meaning of rectangular plank? If this is a water, the surface of the water is this one. I am taking a rectangular plank which is placed on the surface, which is plank here, not the wire, rectangular wire, no, it's a plank here, whose length is L, breadth is also taken here. So if it is a plank, I told you only one length you have to take. Tension is equal to force by length, and length is nothing but the circumference, which is 2 times of length plus breadth, because 2 lengths here, 2 breadths for a rectangle. So tension can be taken as force by length, which is 2 into L plus B, and force, okay, and force here is going to be 2T into L plus B here, okay, 2T into L plus B, because this is called a force due to tension. Therefore, the net force acting is force due to tension plus M into G, or you can also take force due to gravity or weight, whatever it may be. So the net force is 2T into L plus B plus M into G or W, whatever it may be. So this is going to be the net force acting on the rectangular plank. Okay, like this you can do for anything here. Like for example, if it is a square ring, square shaped wire, okay. So square wire, square shaped wire, not a plank here, wire I am telling. And whose side is A, okay, side is A. Then what is the circumference? What is the circumference here? 4A. As it is a wire, both inner length and external length are affected by the surface here. So what are you going to take the total length, which is going to be the circumference here? 2 times of 4 into A you have to consider. So here this is a wire, so force by 2L you have to consider. Understand? So therefore, total length, 2 times of the length here is going to become T is equal to F by 8A. So force is going to be how much here? So force is going to be 8T into A. What is this force? This is called as force due to tension here. Therefore, the net force is considered as force due to tension plus force due to gravity. So therefore, the net force is 8TA plus G, which is Fg is equal to weight, which can also be taken as mg. Okay. So this is the formula we are writing here. Now let us go. If it is a square, if it is a plank, just 4TA. That's it. Here to replace with 4TA. Next, you can take here. This is a ring. No, I will take now the next part of this explanation here. What is that explanation? You know, instead of ring, I will take annular ring. Okay. So what is the meaning of annular ring? This is a ring which is having different radius. This is R1 and this is R2. Okay. It is an annular ring. Annular ring means in a circular plank, a small part is cut and it is removed. Then it becomes an annular ring, is it? And their radiuses are different here. So inner radius if it is taken as R1 and outer radius if it is R2, then tension will become force by inner length plus outer length. Both lengths you have to consider here, is it? So tension is equal to, what are we going to write now? Force by inner length is inner circumference, which is 2 pi R1. Outer length is going to be outer circumference, which is 2 pi R2. Okay. So therefore, T is equal to F by 2 pi if you common out R1 plus R2. Therefore, you will be writing now force due to tension is equal to 2 pi T R1 plus R2. Okay. So this is the formula getting. Now, if you want to find out the net force acting on this annular ring, it is force due to tension plus force due to gravity, which can be taken as 2 pi T R1 plus R2 plus W is nothing but mg here. Okay. So this is going to be the formula here. Next concept we shall go here. The next topic is, this is a rectangular shaped ring. And what is this? This is a soap film. You are immersing this rectangular shaped in a soap solution. then what happens? A soap film will be stick. As the children are playing, they are taking some instrument like this shape. Is it? Have you ever seen this type of instrument is taken, which is having a ring? They will dip this and they will blow. Then what happens? There are number of bubbles coming out from that. Have you seen that type of instrument where children will play? So like that, this is a soap film which is connected to the rectangular shape. What is the length of this? And there is a movable wire here. Okay, this is going to be the movable wire whose length is L. This is moved. Okay, how much it is moved? Previously the breadth was B1 and now the breadth has been increased to B2. Therefore B2 minus B1, it can be considered as delta B. And this area which has been moved can be taken as length into delta B, which is taken as A. Area which has been moved. Actually this is a soap film which is holding the wire. One is the movable wire. These three wires are fixed. There is one movable wire having holes which has been inserted inside. Okay, and this wire has been holded by the soap film here. Understood? If you extend with certain force, okay, then what happens? This soap film also gets extended, and you should know one thing. This is the force applied by the man. Actually, there is a force applied by the soap film which is having surface tension. And you should remember one thing here. Soap film always will be having two layers. Soap film or soap bubble. Even if you observe the soap bubble here, soap bubble will be having naturally two layers. Okay, have you ever observed if you dip some of the pipe or a small type of straw inside the soap solution and you start blowing the bubble, you will be observing one thing. One layer is rolling on the other. Have you seen that one? One layer will be rolling on the other. That type of experience have you ever seen? The meaning here is soap bubble having two layers in that. Okay, so soap film or soap bubble generally will be having two layers, whereas water is having only one layer. Water drop is having only one layer. So soap is having two layers here. So let me see what is the work done. What is the work done by me to move? Okay, so what I am going to do here is work done to move the wire. Okay, this wire which is called as movable wire. How much work you have been doing here? So you know that work done is equal to force into displacement. So what is the force here? Force is nothing but you are applying the force against to the tension here. So tension ki opposite. In the opposite direction you are applying certain force. Both are same. So force due to tension and the displacement moved. How much the displacement is moved? Delta B. Okay, delta B is the displacement here. Okay, because B2 minus B1 is the delta B here. Then what happens? And you all know that tension is equal to force by length here. But as you know that this is a wire which is having two layers, therefore 2L you can take. Then you can also take F is equal to 2L into T or 2T into L, whatever it may be, 2T into L. So W is equal to force. Instead of force due to tension, you can take 2T into L into delta B here. So how much is this? This is the length, this is the breadth, and what is the area? This is going to be the area we have to consider here. So W is equal to 2T into delta A. Okay, so this is the formula which is called as surface energy. Okay, surface tension you know, but this is called as surface energy. What is the meaning of surface energy? Surface energy is the work done to move the wire. Understand? So that the surface of the film has been extended, it gets elaborated, its area will increase. So we have to do certain work because tension is pulling always inwards, whereas you have to apply certain work, you have to do certain work, apply certain force and pull it against the surface tension. Force due to tension, force due to man should be the opposite way. Both are same. Both are same. So you can take force due to tension here. So generally surface energy for soap solution is considered to be 2 into T into Change in area. Change in area is delta A. Okay. So surface energy for water, if you observe, that will be only tension into change in area. Okay. So surface energy general formula for soap is 2 into tension into change in area. This you have to remember. This formula you have to remember this formula. Okay. So that work done is also called as surface energy. Hope you have understood this one. Is it? So this point you have to understood. This point if you understand, then it is very easy to understand the remaining things here. What are the remaining things? I will tell you. For example, this is the size of bubble. This is the size of the bubble. Understand? Then what are you doing now? What are you doing here now? You are increasing this size of bubble by keeping a straw inside and blowing the air to area, that is, you are increasing the volume of the bubble from R1 to R2. What is the work done by you here? Okay, so you all know that this is area A2. Previously the surface area of the bubble was A1. Now the surface area of the bubble has been raised by blowing the air inside. You are blowing the air inside, increasing the volume. So area here is 4 pi R2 square. Previously the area is 4 pi R1 square. This is going to be the surface area here now. So as this is going to be the bubble, okay, what type of bubble? Soap bubble. So surface energy for a soap bubble is considered to be, okay, what are you going to write now? 2 into T into A2 minus A1, because the basic formula is 2T delta A, no? So A2 minus A1, final minus initial area. So surface energy can be taken as 2T. A2 can be taken as 4 pi R2 square minus 4 pi R1 square. Therefore, surface energy can be taken as 8 pi T R2 square minus R1 square. This is the formula for especially soap. Okay. For example, surface area to increase the size of the water drop. For water drop, there is no 2, only tension into changing area. Then at that time, you need not write 2T, T into delta A. Therefore, for water especially, you can write it as T into delta A, which is A2 minus A1. For example, water drop size has been increased. Then what happens here? So definitely you have to write surface energy of a water drop is 4 pi R2 square minus 4 pi R1 square. Okay. So therefore 4 pi T R2 square minus R1 square. Okay. So what I am going to do here is, now this is the explanation for this fact. Now let us go for the next one. There was a drop of soap solution. What is this? Soap solution drop. Nothing is in that. No bubble is present here. Only there is one sudden drop of soap solution. Okay. So in this soap solution, you are keeping one straw and creating one bubble of radius r. With this, it is understood that R1 is 0 and R2 is going to be R here. R1 is 0. Previously, there was no bubble. Now, with the soap drop, you have created a bubble. Then, what are you going to do now here? This formula a little bit modified here. R1 is taken as 0, R2 is taken as R. That's it. So, surface energy to create a bubble from nothing, from only soap solution. Then you will be writing surface energy is equal to how much? 8 pi T. Just R2 square is taken as R minus 0. Okay, this is the formula. This is the formula. Okay, this is for soap. And surface energy for water, it is 4 pi T into R square. That's it. Is it clear? Why is it so? Because water drop does not have any layers. Understand? Is it clear? So this is the next part of this here. This is a water drop. Okay. You have split this water drop into n drops. How many drops? The small droplets you have been split. This larger drop is there, and you have been converting this large drop into small drops. Just like when you go to barber shop, what you will do? You will sprinkle certain water on your head, small drops of water. Okay, have you seen? And some, for example, glass cleaner. You'll take some of the shampoo liquid in that and just spray on the glass. The help of a gun which will convert the water into small droplets. Is it? Yes, like that. Okay, so small droplets are coming out from the larger drop. And what is the radius of the larger drop? R is the radius of the larger drop. Small r is the radius of the small drop. This volume is capital V and this volume is small v. The volume of the small drop is taken as small v here. Okay. Then you know that. You know one thing here. What is that? Volume of large drop is equal to n times the volume of small drops. Okay, so volume of the large drop, how many drops are there? Just now here I told you these are n drops. For example, n number of drops have been converted from larger drop having radius capital R, this is smaller. Then what happens? What is the volume of the larger drop? 4 by 3 pi capital R cube. And n times of the smaller drop is 4 by 3 pi smaller cube here. So 4 by 3 gets cancelled here. So therefore R cube is equal to n times of R cube. This point you have to remember here. This point should be remembered. And it is also necessary that you should remember R is equal to n power of 1 by 3 times of small r. Can you write like this? And small r is equal to capital R by n power 1 by 3. So these are certain points which you have to remember here. Okay. So one thing it is clear. 1 by 3. Okay. So one thing it is clear. When you split larger drop into smaller drops, volume is going to be same. But what about surface area? Surface area increases. From here to here, surface area increases. Volume remains same but surface area increases. Why is it so? I will give one small example here to understand. See, this is a cylinder. Okay, what is the surface area of a cylinder? This is 2 pi r h and this is pi r square plus pi r square, is it? So total surface area is this plus this lateral surface area. So 2 pi r h plus pi r square plus pi r square. If I break this into two parts, then what is extra here? This surface and this surface will become extra or not? This is already present. Lateral is same. If you add lateral of this and lateral of this, going to be same. But what is extra? Is it not that these two surfaces are going to be extra here? This part and this part. If you break here, then two more surfaces will become extra. Like that only, if larger drop is split into smaller drops, the more the number of drops you are going to convert, the larger the surface area is going to increase. Understood? So it is understood that n times, what is the surface area of this smaller drop? 4 pi r square. Larger drop, 4 pi capital R square. Okay? So now, surface area of small drops is greater than surface area of large drop. How can you say this one? Now, how many surface areas of smaller drops are there? N into 4 pi small r square, which is greater than 4 pi capital R square. Is it understood? It is understood now? So all these surface areas if you take and surface area of this larger you will take, definitely surface area of the smaller drops will be larger, greater compared to the single one. Understood? So what are you going to do now here? You all know this is a water drop. Then surface energy or work done, you can just write work done to split water drops. How much is the work done by you to split the water drops? We shall discuss about that here. Now, for that, it is understood that surface energy, which is the work done for drops, here it is tension into change in area. No? 2 into T is for soap, but this is water. So tension into change in area. So tension is T. Change into area means how much? A2 minus A1. Okay, this is going to be A2 final, that's one, and this is going to be A1. A2 is going to be the sum of the surface area of smaller drops. A1 is going to be the sum of the surface area of only one drop. That's why you can write surface energy as tension. A2 can be taken as N4 pi r square minus A1 is taken as 4 pi capital R square. Is it? Like this you can write. Now, here surface energy can be taken as T, you write like that only, and 4 pi capital R square if you common out. What are you going to get now? So N, how much? N is like that only, right? N you keep like that only. So 4 pi is common, R square is already present here. Is it? Yes, divided by capital R square minus 1. Is it? Is it okay? So then, you should know one thing here. What is small r by capital R here? Small r by capital R is nothing but, yes, here small r by capital R is nothing but 1 by n power 1 by 3, is it? Yes. And if you square this one, you have to square this one also. Therefore, r square by capital R square is how much? 1 by n power 2 by 3. Is it? So, can I replace r square by capital R square as n power 2 by 3? So, surface energy is equal to T, 4 pi capital R square, you'll write like that only. N into small r square by capital R square is by n power 2 by 3 minus 1. So, surface energy can be taken as 4 pi T into r square. This is n power 1 minus 2 by 3 minus 1. Therefore, surface energy is equal to 4 pi r square into T. How much it is? N power 1 by 3 minus 1. This is the formula. This is the formula here. Okay. So, you can write the formula like this. This is the first formula you can say. And you can write like this also. This is the basic formula. Is it not? This is going to be the basic formula. Basic formula. Now you have common out the capital R square. Can we common out small r square also? Yes. Surface energy can be taken as tension, you write like that only. Now I am taking 4 pi small r square as common here. Then what I am getting? N minus capital R square by small r square is left. Is it? Is it not? If you multiply this, you will get the same thing. Yes. So surface energy is equal to 4 pi T into R square N. So capital R square by small r square, capital R square by small r square is going to be n power 2 by 3, is it? Huh? So capital R, from this you can take capital R by small r is equal to n power 1 by 3. If you square this one, you have to square this one also. If you square this one, n power 2 by 3. So this is the another formula. Okay. So when these formulas are applied, this is applied when capital R is given. Understand? This is applied when small r is given. And n means how many drops? One large drop is converted into 27 drops. Understand? For example, the question is given like this. Question is given this. Large drop is divided into 27 small drops. Okay? And tension is given like this, 0.04. Okay? Newtons per meter. Because tension is equal to force per unit length, no? So Newton per meter will be the unit. So tension is given and how many drops it has been converted is also given. Then what is the work you have to do now? Surface energy is equal to 4 into 22 by 7 into tension is 0.0. Generally you take 7 here, 0.007. So we'll write 0.007 into, yes, okay. If he has given smaller radius as 0.04 meters per second, meters. Okay. So if he has given small r, you just apply this formula here. Okay. So in the place of n, you will write 27 minus 27 power of 2 by 3, is it? So can you write 27 as 3 cube? 3 cube. He will give 27 or 81 like this. 256, 66, 36, 36, 6, 256. Like that he will give the values. Like 1000 he will give. 10 cube. If one drop is divided into 1000 smaller drops. So in this way, depending upon the situation, if you give small r, use this formula, capital R, use this formula. Okay. Now, I'll tell you one more thing here. If he gives volume, how you have to find out? Yes? 4. Okay. So if he considers the volume, just I told you this is going to be the basic formulas. I will take this basic formula separately. Surface energy, it is nothing but tension into n power of 4 pi small r square minus 4 pi capital R square. This is the basic formula for all the formulas. I told you this is the first formula which is coming from this, and this is going to be the second formula which is coming from the same. If it is capital R common out, this is the formula. Small r is common, this is the formula. Sometimes he will give the volume. At that time, how will you do? What will you do? It's very simple. Surface energy is equal to 4 pi capital R square into T. Then what happens? The same formula you're getting how much? This one. N power 1 by 3 minus 1. Is it? This is the formula you're getting. Okay. Or else you can write here. What was the formula we got now previously? N you will keep like that only. And small r square by capital R square you will keep like that only. Minus 1 will be there. Okay. You know that volume. What is the formula for the volume? 4 by 3 pi capital R cube. Is it? This is the formula for the volume. Is it not? Then what will you do? Instead of R square, if you common out R cube, what happens? Here there will be R cube. By 1 by R is left here. Is it? Okay. So you can do like this. And one more thing here. 4 by 3 pi. Okay. So now, what I am going to explain is, this is the basic formula. From this you are getting this formula, surface energy, capital R square is common. Now, from these formulas, I have to create one formula from this formula in which volume should be present. To create the volume, you have to do some manipulations here. What are the things you have to do? This is the basic formula, 4 pi R square. Instead of 4 pi R square, capital R square, can you common out R cube? R cube means n into R square by R cube. 1 by R will be there. If you multiply all these things, again you will get the same line. If you want, you can just check out. Now R cube is there. I have to create 4 by 3 because volume formula is 4 by 3. I will create 4 by 3 multiply with 1 3. And also here R square is present but capital R cube is present. I have to give R cube. One more R you have to multiply here. So to create R cube I have to divide with small r here also. Is it? So small r cube by capital R cube minus 1 by R is as it is. And you all know that R cube is equal to n times of small r cube as we have explained in the previous concept. So small r cube by capital R cube is 1 by n. So here you can create 1 by n. Okay, n gets cancelled, 1 by r is left. So surface energy, there is a new formula for surface energy. This is going to be the new formula. So this is the first formula, this is the second formula. This is going to be the third formula here. Okay, this is going to be the third. If you split this larger drop into smaller drops, you are doing some work on that. So some heat is generated while splitting. You have to find out the rise in temperature. What is the rise in temperature while splitting? How much would be the difference in the temperature? Previously what was the temperature and now what is the temperature? The net temperature is temperature difference here. Okay, then how much will be the rise in the temperature? That theta you have to consider. Okay, for that you have to apply Joule's law. What is the meaning of Joule's law here? You all know that work done is directly proportional to quantity of heat. The more the work you do, the more the heat is generated, is it not? If you walk for half a kilometer, heat is generated in your body, you will get some sweat. If you walk for 1 hour, more heat is generated. Instead of walking, you do running, more work is done. So more heat is produced in your body. More sweat will come, is it not? So that is clear that W is directly proportional to quantity of heat. The more the work is done, the more the heat is generated. And from this it is clear that W is equal to JQ, where J is called as Joule's constant. Understand? So it is clear from that. Then for example, if you write JQ is equal to W. JQ is equal to W here. And which JQ? And what is the radius of the larger drop? Capital R. What is the volume of the larger drop? 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now JQ is equal to W, J. And you also know that Q is nothing but ms into theta. Mass, specific heat and rise in temperature. Because Q is directly proportional to mass of the body. Quantity of heat depends upon the mass of the body. Quantity of heat is directly depending upon the rise in the temperature theta. The more the rise in the temperature, the more heat is developed. The more is the mass, you have to apply more heat. You can burn one stick of wood by using matchstick, but can you burn a log of wood by using matchstick? No. You need a lot of fire for that. Is it clear? So this is there now. So this can be taken as ms into theta, and this is W. What is W here? W is nothing but the surface energy or work done, both are same. So you can write 3Vt 1 by small r minus 1 by capital R. Okay, so this is there, mass. So mass means, can you write this mass as volume into density? Mass is equal to volume into density, specific heat into theta. 3Vt 1 by small r, 1 by capital R. What are the things going to be cancelled here? This is going to be cancelled. So theta is equal to 3T by Js rho 1 by small r plus minus 1 by capital R. Okay, this is the formula for rise in the temperature. Okay, so this is 3T. J is called as Joule's constant, S is specific heat, rho is said to be density of the water drop. Understand? 1 by small r minus 1 by capital R. Come on. The smaller droplets will combine to form a larger droplet. When smaller droplets combine to form a larger droplet, this larger droplet will gain certain velocity. Okay? When smaller droplets will combine to form a larger droplet, this larger droplet will gain certain kinetic energy, gain certain velocity with which it will move. Now the question is, you have to find out the velocity here. You have to find out the velocity. How are you going to find out the velocity in this case? So it is clear that energy can neither be created or destroyed. It converts from one form to another form. So kinetic energy can be converted into surface energy can be converted into kinetic energy, whatever it may be. So kinetic energy, the formula is half mv square. And surface energy, the formula is 3Vt 1 by small r minus 1 by capital R. See, small v represents velocity, capital V represents volume here. Okay, so this is velocity. If it is capital V, it is volume. This is velocity. Now, mass can be written as volume into density, V square, 3Vt 1 by small r, 1 by capital R. So this is also capital V, this is also capital V. Both are getting cancelled. So V square is equal to 60 by rho 1 by small r minus 1 by capital R. So therefore V can be written as 60 by rho 1 by small r minus 1 by capital R. Okay. So this is the formula to find out the velocity here. This is small v. So this is the velocity of the drop after combining the small drops. If you split, heat energy will be developed. But when you combine them, kinetic energy is created. Is it clear? So surface energy gets converted into kinetic energy and it gains the velocity. So this is going to be the velocity of the larger drop. Is it clear?